Hi, and welcome back to Beginner Adult Hockey. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about the unwritten rules of hockey. We have actually gone through quite a few of these, so if you've watched this channel at all, you'll know a lot of these, but I wanted to go over them because they are not something that you're going to learn in any rule books. Actually, two of them are written rules also, but I included them as unwritten rules. But it is something that you'll want to know as you go in and you start playing hockey. So number one, and maybe the most important one, is going to be fighting. First of all, if you've watched this channel before, you understand the number one rule of beer league hockey is just don't be a jerk. Just don't be that guy that's gonna make it so nobody else is having fun out there. So fighting is gonna be one of those things. A lot of people, especially when they start as adults, think that hockey equals fighting because they watch the NHL, they watch all those other leagues, and that's just not the way it is. It doesn't mean it's not a physical sport. It is a very physical sport, and you're allowed to, be physical with people, but fighting is something completely different. Fighting is bad intent, first of all, and anger. That's kind of how I see fighting as different than anything else. If you throw a punch at somebody in beer league hockey, you probably not only will not get invited back, you'll probably get kicked out of your league, and sometimes they call the cops depending on how bad it is. So just understand that that's not why we're here. We all have to go to work on Monday, and we all don't want to, show up with bruises or, things like that. So we're here to play hockey and to have fun and to do all that and not to fight. All right, number two, do not mess with a goalie who's in a compromising position, really. And one of those is if he's gloved the puck. So what that means is the puck is in his crease, or even if it's out of his crease, and he puts his hand over it. Sometimes, so what will happen is the ref will blow the whistle when that happens, but occasionally the ref is not in a position to see that, and there will be a couple seconds between the time when he gloves it and when the whistle is blown. And so basically what that's saying is don't be that jerk who continues to whack at the goalie even though he clearly has his hand on the puck. Sometimes if you don't know where it is and the ref doesn't know where it is, you can keep going at it because that is something that is totally reasonable. But if you see that he has actually gloved the puck, something where they will blow the whistle, then you need to stop whacking at it because people just get hurt in that way. All right, number three, and this is one of those written, unwritten rules, is don't shoot the puck on net after the whistle blows. And the reason for this is because the goalie could be in a compromising position. He may have taken his mask off, he could be just not paying attention, and he could get hurt if you do this. It's a written, unwritten rule because it's always been unwritten. This is just something you don't do, but now it's an official, actual USA hockey rule. You cannot shoot after the whistle blows. This is something where it's a little bit gray. So like if you're already shooting and it's kind of on its way and you can't stop yourself, the ref understands that. This is more the whistle blows and you intentionally shoot at the goalie after the whistle blows. That is absolutely a penalty now. Number four, very important, is bring your own tape. Nobody's going to get mad at you if you don't bring your own tape. Like one time you asked them to use tape. Oh no, I ran out. I didn't know. I forgot. But if you continue to do it time and time again, people will start to get kind of upset with you because they think you're just being cheap, right? Like you don't want to buy your own tape. Tape is cheap. It's you can get it on Amazon. I think you can get a 10-pack for like 15 bucks or something, and that will last you forever. What I'm talking about is sock tape, the clear tape that goes around your socks. So just so you know, if you are continually asking your teammates for a hockey tape, they're not going to be very happy with you. You can be the great guy that's there and offering people hockey tape because people do ask, people forget, or they didn't know that they were out of tape or anything like that. That's totally fine. Just don't do it time and time again because it will start to irritate people. All right, number five is short shifts. Again, I get a little bit of pushback on this channel where people think they can be out there for 3 or 4 minutes. What I'm talking about when you do a shift is not the time you're standing around. It's not the time that, things are stopped or you're not skating or anything like that. This is on ice skating time. 45 seconds. I've been saying 45 to 75 seconds. I'm going to say 2 minutes. That's fine. People have been arguing about it. Big eye roll. 45 seconds to 2 minutes. Get out there, skate as hard as you can while you're out there, do as much as you can, and then get off. There's a couple reasons for this. One, if you're exhausted, you are worthless. You'll understand this more and more as you get out there. But number two is the people you're switching with want to get out there too. I was skating with somebody once who was out there for like 5 or 6 minutes every shift. People are like, hey, this is wrong. Get off the ice. She's like, well, I'm having so much fun. And it's like, no, that's not the point. We're all having fun. You need to get off because the other people that you're switching with also want to change lines or get out there and skate as well. So short shifts, but skate as hard as you can while you're out there. All right, number 6 is do not take a slap shot on an empty net. This is not going to hurt anybody, but there was a game earlier this year with the Senators and Tampa Bay, and who was it? It was Ridley Gregg shot a slap shot on an empty net. I'm going to try to post the video here, but I don't know about rights, so I may not be able to post it. I'll post a link below no matter what. Morgan Riley was not very happy and went and kind of attacked him physically. Because it's just something that you don't do. Don't be a jerk. If there's an empty net, just shoot it like you normally would if you're going to score. Don't be a jerk and do something like a slap shot. Number 7, keep everything on the ice. If you're out there and something happens, you get upset, or somebody does something rude to you, or the ref does something that you don't like, keep it all on the ice. The second the whistle blows at the end of the game, you need to get over it. Number 1, you need to get over anything that you do, and that's fine if you don't, if you're competitive like that. That's different, although you should, but that's different. But what this means is don't hold grudges on people who've done things in the past to you. Don't be upset in the handshake line or skip the handshake line. Go through and be a good sportsman. Be a good teammate, shake people's hands, and get over it. Have a beer with everybody afterwards, because this is hockey. Sometimes tempers do flare. There's a lot of adrenaline going on. You just need to get over it, and at the end of the game, you need to forget whatever happened. Number 8 is play at your level, and it goes both ways. Don't play significantly above you. Don't play significantly below you. There is nothing worse than somebody who plays below them because they want to feel like the big guy, like, oh my God, I'm amazing at hockey because I'm a C player and I'm playing in the D League. Like, that doesn't help anybody. Sometimes it happens. For instance, I see a lot of husbands who want to play with their wives, but if you're in that situation, play down. Don't be the big hot shot and have to go score 13 goals, because nobody wants to play with that guy. The other way around too. I'm a C player, right? And so sometimes I'll get in pickup situations where people are much better than me, and I kind of just try to stay out of the way. They're always very, very gracious to me, and they try to let me play and, let me skate the puck a little bit, but it's also not fun for them. So I understand if I end up in that situation, which I don't try to do, but if I do, that I try to play a wing, because you're kind of out of the way. You're not going to really take away playing time from anybody, but also try not to get in that situation. I have played with people where, again, I'm playing with my boyfriend's friends, and they're much better than me, and they're always very gracious. I don't think that there's going to be a lot of situations where people aren't gracious, but just try to stay away from those situations. Try to play with people your level, or, one level up or one level below, because one level up will actually help you get better faster, but it's also not going to be fun for anybody if it's significantly above your level. So just remember to try to stay at your level as much as you can. On that same note, number 9 is running up the score. I've watched games, and I have to tell you, more youth games than adult games, where there's a significant difference between the two teams in terms of skill levels, and they'll just go out there and score 15 points, 15 goals, and I just don't understand why that's fun. What you want to do if you find yourself in a situation where you are significantly differently in skill, whether you're the high team or the low team, work on some skills. Work on your passing, work on, communicating with your team, work on things like that, work on your backward skating. I mean, anything like that. Work on stuff, because going out and shooting a bunch of goals when it's not hard is not going to improve your hockey skills at all. So if you find yourself in that situation, just be a good person and take the opportunity to learn something new. All right, number 10 is celebrating. And you know what? You score a goal, especially if you're a beginner, it's really exciting because it doesn't happen that much, and it's okay to celebrate, but just don't be that guy that's a jerk about it, that's over celebrating, or is going over and saying things to the other team, taunting people oh, you suck, I can't believe you didn't get that. If you know the person and it's in jest, it's friendly, the goalie and you're oh wow, how did you let me score? I'm horrible, things like that, totally fine if you know the person, but don't intentionally be a jerk and go taunt them because you have scored. Because if you're watching this channel, chances are you're not very good yet, and so you really have nothing to taunt over anyways. But just don't over celebrate because, again, nobody likes that guy. Kind of the theme of this video. All right, number 11, bring the beer if it's your turn. So a lot of times, if you, for instance, if you use Bench App for your league, there is actually a place there for who's bringing beer this time. Sometimes it's unspoken. Sometimes it's, well, the next guy brings beer next time, or the same guy brings beer, or whatever happens, because all those things happen. Bring the beer if you're going to say you're going to bring the beer, because some people, if there's no schedule, then it's okay. Like, that's fine. Sometimes somebody will pick up beer. There's nothing worse, though, than wanting a beer at the end and thinking somebody's bringing it and then there be no beer. On that note, though, if you don't drink, or you don't want to drink, or you don't want to bring beer, first of all, if you don't want to bring beer, you can't drink the beer that somebody else brought. But if you don't drink, that's okay. Nobody's going to make fun of you. Just tell your team captain at the beginning of the season, hey, I don't drink. I don't feel comfortable buying beer. That's totally fine. Or if you like drink cider or something, like, still bring some beer for people, right? Because people like to drink beer. So all I'm saying is, if you sign up to bring beer and people are expecting you to bring beer, bring the beer. Number 12 on that kind of same note is just show up, because it is really important. If you say you're going to show up, then people are expecting you. It's very specific in hockey. It's a team sport where you're in position. So there's a specific number of people you want to show up every time, whether it's 8 or 10 or 13 or whatever it is. And if you take one away from that, it's going to mess up the lines. It's going to mess up pretty much everything. And they're going to have to kind of reconfigure exactly how your game is played. So it doesn't mean you have to show up to every game, but what it means is, if you say you're going to show up, if you check in, a lot of times they'll give you like 6 hours. You know, you don't have to check in till like 6 hours in advance or 2 hours in advance or whatever it is. If you say you're going to go, go, because it will mess everything up otherwise. All right, that was just 12 of the many, many, many unwritten rules of hockey. Let me know what you think are other ones that you found over the years of exactly what the unwritten rules are of the NHL, of beer league hockey, of any of that, and let me know what they are below. Don't forget to subscribe and like this channel. We are growing slowly, but we are growing. So let me know any other videos you want to see as well, and I'll see you next time.